Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you are anywhere near the world of technology or business or even education right now, you are just constantly hearing about AI agents.
Oh, constantly. It's the buzzword of the year.
Everyone wants to build one, but the moment you try to take that first step, you hit a wall.
You do.
Yeah.
And it's not just a wall, it's a chaotic, overwhelming landscape of tools.
Right.
You've got your LLMs, your frameworks, your vector databases, these automation platforms, and suddenly you realize that building a functional, end-to-end agent requires stitching together maybe a dozen different technologies.
And for a professional or student just starting out, that choice paralysis it's absolute.
It's completely paralyzing.
Absolutely. We know that feeling of just wading through all the marketing copy, trying to figure out which tool is actually the right one for the job.
And more importantly, which ones you can rely on without, breaking the bank.
Exactly. And that's why our mission today is very, very specific. We have synthesized an expert categorization of the entire AI ecosystem into a single functional tool map.
And we're focusing exclusively on the highest quality free and no-code solutions.
This is more than just a list, right? This is an architectural blueprint.
It is, and it's organized entirely by purpose, not by complexity. And what's fascinating, I think, is how that structure just instantly removes the confusion.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a clear shortcut to navigate the entire free AI infrastructure.
So our goal for you, the listener, is simple: acceleration. By the end of this deep dive, you won't just know the names of the tools.
No.
You'll understand their role in the overall architecture. And this knowledge allows professionals, students, beginners, anyone to confidently choose the correct tech stack for a complete end-to-end AI agent project.
And it applies across all these demanding domains we see, right? Legal, business, educational content, media, healthcare.
Deep research, yeah.
And the best part, I think, is that we're proving you can build these highly sophisticated systems without needing professional coding expertise.
That's the game changer.
It is. We've structured this blueprint starting from the agent's brain, and then we're going to move outward to its body, its senses, and its infrastructure. If you understand the functional role of each component, you can immediately start building.
Okay, let's do it. Let's unpack this and start right at the foundation. The most critical function of any AI agent is its ability to think, to plan, and to communicate.
Exactly.
This is segment 1, the AI foundation prompting, reasoning, and verifiable research.
This is the agent's core cognitive function. I mean, before it can automate anything or interact with external systems, it needs reliable, logical reasoning. It has to be able to think properly.
So the default starting point for this general reasoning and planning, the model that really sets the standard, is the free version of ChatGPT, specifically leveraging that new GPT-4o mini architecture.
Precisely. And its core purpose is foundational, everyday reasoning, complex writing, planning, analysis. But we really shouldn't just pass over it because it's so common.
No, it's easy to take for granted.
It is. Its key strength, which the source material flags as truly industry-leading, is its sheer logical reasoning. This isn't just a chatbot. This is the operating system for your agent.
Okay, so let's dig into that. Why is this specific point, the logical reasoning, so critical to the concept of an agent versus, just a simple chatbot?
Because agents are defined by their ability to execute multi-step plans. That's the core difference.
Right.
A simple chatbot answers a question. An agent takes a complex goal, let's say, research the new zoning laws in Texas, summarize the impact on commercial real estate, draft an initial email to stakeholders, and schedule a follow-up task.
That's a lot of steps.
It's a chain of tasks. And if the underlying logical reasoning is weak, the whole plan fails on step 2. The chain breaks. GPT-4o Mini, even in its free tier, offers the speed, the reliability, and the structured thinking necessary for this kind of demanding multi-stage planning.
So it's the bedrock. It's what you use for that initial agent planning or for tutoring or for generating really complex content.
Exactly. And there was a detail in the source material that genuinely surprised me, and it speaks to its global utility.
What was that?
The specific note about its strong multilingual capabilities, highlighting that it is, and I'm quoting here, very strong in Urdu.
Wow. That's incredibly specific.
It is, and it's a crucial insight. It signals that this model's reasoning capabilities aren't just limited to English-centric tasks.
So if you're building an educational agent for a school system, say in South Asia,
Or a customer service agent for a global company, exactly. Its reliable performance in a language like Urdu confirms its status as a robust foundational model for agents that have to operate in these diverse linguistic environments.
and getting that level of reliable multilingual support in the free tier, that's a huge advantage for global
A
developers.
massive advantage.
Okay, so we have the brain, we have the planner, but a smart agent also has to be a truthful agent, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to move away from just general knowledge to ensuring the information it retrieves is accurate and verifiable. This is the verifiable stack.
Citation-based knowledge retrieval. This immediately brings us to Perplexity AI, the free version.
And the distinction here is vital, isn't it?
It's everything. Perplexity's core purpose is research-focused AI with a specific mandate for verifiable answers.
Hmm.
It is not trying to be a chat companion.
It's not there to be your friend.
No, it's trying to be a citable research tool.
So why is this step non-negotiable for, say, professional learners or builders? Why can't we just use that GPT model we were just talking about?
Because of professional liability. It's that simple. If your agent is working in legal or financial or healthcare domains, the AI just making up facts is a disaster.
It's a complete deal breaker.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Perplexity excels because it forces accountability. It provides real-time search capabilities and, crucially, academic quality referencing. It shows you the primary sources it used to generate the answer.
So you can click through and check the work?
You can. And that ability to link a synthesized answer directly back to the original documents, it elevates the agent from a speculative partner to a responsible research assistant.
So if I'm building an agent to track pharmaceutical research or to summarize the implications of a new tax law, I'd start the reasoning in GPT-4 Mini. But I execute the retrieval phase using Perplexity to guarantee that grounding and the citations.
Exactly. Its ideal use cases are just that. Delivering evidence-based market research, summarizing scientific papers with linked sources, or pulling the latest regulatory or legal updates with confidence.
Now, academic research often needs an even deeper, more structured approach, right? Especially when validation is required. Let's look at the dedicated academic stack that was outlined.
Yeah, this stack is all about structured scholarly analysis. So step one is just massive comprehension. For that, we use consensus.
Consensus.
Its whole purpose is to efficiently summarize academic research papers. If you're building an agent that's focused on, say, literature reviews for a PhD thesis, or compiling data on scientific explanations across dozens of journals,
That's a huge amount of reading.
it's an impossible amount for a human. Consensus is your primary tool for ingesting and understanding that massive volume of literature and doing it quickly.
Okay, so that's step one, comprehension. Step two is about comparison and structure, and for that we have elicit.
Right. Elicit acts as the specialized AI research assistant. Its power isn't just in reading, but in structuring the information.
How so?
It specializes in citation extraction, in comparing different study methodologies side by side, and in building these complex evidence grids.
An evidence grid. What does that look like in practice?
Imagine an agent that needs to analyze 10 different clinical trials on a specific drug. Elicit is the tool that would extract the sample size, the methodology, the key findings from each of those 10 papers, and put them into a neat comparison spreadsheet.
Oh, wow.
It enables truly structured comparative analysis at scale.
That structural capability is what really distinguishes it from just a simple summarizer. But we can't just trust the data blindly, even then.
Never.
Step three is the critical validation step, cite.
Cite is the quality control layer. It's all about paper reliability and checking citation integrity. So you've compiled the evidence using consensus and elicit, but what if the foundational paper you're relying on was published 10 years ago?
And has since been refuted.
Exactly. Refuted by better, more recent research. Cite checks not only how many times a paper has been cited, but how it's been cited.
Ah, the context of the citation.
The context is everything. Was it supported, or was it contradicted by subsequent research? An agent using Cite ensures that its knowledge foundation is current and reliable, which is absolutely vital in rapidly moving fields like medicine or technology.
So that three-tool pipeline consensus for summary, elicit for structure, and cite for validation is a complete end-to-end responsible knowledge system.
And you can build it for free. It totally changes the definition of what responsible research can be for an AI.
Okay, and finally, before we leave this reasoning segment, we have to talk about model flexibility. Because the best model for retrieval isn't always the best for, say, creative writing, but managing dozens of separate accounts is, well, it's impractical for an agent prototype.
It's a nightmare. And that's where Poe, specifically the free tier, steps in.
How does Poe solve this?
It solves the fragmentation problem. Its purpose is to give you access to a multitude of large models, Claude, Llama, Stable LM, various GPT variants, all within a single unified interface.
So it's like a universal remote for LLMs.
That's a perfect analogy. It's a massive efficiency boost for agent prototyping.
So if I'm building an agent, I might want to test if Claude 3 Opus is better at summarizing legal documents than GPT-4.
Or if Llama is more cost-effective for simple categorization tasks.
And Poe lets me just swap the agent's brain out instantly without re-architecting the entire system.
Exactly. It offers that flexibility without the administrative overhead of managing all these separate APIs, keys, and interfaces. It gives the builder the freedom to iterate rapidly and find the optimal brain for a specific task.
Okay, so this brings us to a natural transition point. We've moved from the agent's brain, the knowledge and the reasoning, to its ability to act and interact. Segment 2 is about building the agent's body coding, logic, and workflow automation.
This is the difference between a smart tool and a functional executing agent. The agent needs a structure, a place to run its logic, and a nervous system to connect its brain to the outside world.
Let's start with low-code prototyping and hosting. The source material highlights this aspirational no-code tool, Lovable AI.
Right, and lovable AI really represents the future, the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You build full web apps just using natural language instructions.
You just describe the app you want.
And the AI generates the functioning interface, the database, the back-end logic. This is where agent building becomes true natural language creation. It's still early, but it's the direction we're heading.
But even in a fully no-code environment like that, there are always specialized tasks, right?
Always.
A unique API integration, a specific database query, or just a little piece of custom business logic that requires a small script. And that script needs a home.
Which brings us to Replit and its free tier. Replit is essential for prototyping or hosting that specialized back-end logic.
What's a high-value insight here for the free tier? Why Replit?
It's the lightweight containerization advantage. Let's say your agent's core function is handled by a tool like Flowise, but Flowise needs to call a specific Python script for, custard data cleaning before passing it to the LLM. Replit is the fastest, easiest place to host and run that script continuously. It gives that small, specialized piece of code a functional, accessible home in the cloud.
Got it. So let's talk about that nervous system you mentioned, the visual and complex automation workflows. This is how the agent takes its reasoning and turns it into a multi-step routine. And the primary tool here is Flowise AI.
Flowise is absolutely central to modern agent architecture. It's the glue. Its key feature is being a visual, drag-and-drop, no-code workflow builder.
And it's built around the concept of LangChain, right? Linking different components together.
Exactly. So instead of having to write thousands of lines of code to manage the data flow between a model, an external API, and a final output, you just visually connect the nodes on a canvas. Drag, drop, connect.
And this connectability is what allows for the creation of really sophisticated systems like RAG.
Retrieval augmented generation, yes.
We should probably pause and define RAG clearly for everyone. We mentioned it before with vector databases, but how does it work in practice here?
Okay, so think of RAG as giving the agent a set of external, highly specialized textbooks to read before it generates an answer.
I like that analogy. So it stops hallucination by grounding the response in verifiable data.
Verifiable data that you provide, your personal data, your company's documents, your legal archives. It must consult its personal textbook before answering.
And Flowise lets you build that visually.
That's the magic. You can visually build that RAG system. Node 1 receives the user's query. Node 2 searches the vector database, that's the textbook. Node 3 retrieves the relevant passages from the book. Node 4 feeds those passages and the original query to the LLM. And Node 5 outputs the grounded, citable answer.
It really democratizes the creation of these highly complex multi-step agents.
Completely.
So this moves us into interacting with the existing application ecosystem. Agents need to connect to Gmail, Slack, calendars, spreadsheets, all the tools we use every day. This is the automation spectrum comparison where we have to contrast the major players.
And we have 3 pretty distinct tiers of automation here, based on complexity and on privacy needs.
So starting with the simplest.
That's Zapier, the free tier. This is the entry point. It's ideal for basic, straightforward automation and simple connections between very common apps.
So think of simple triggers, like if I get an email with the word urgent, Then add a row to this Google Sheet.
Exactly. Simple, linear, if this, then that logic. It's the easiest to set up, by far.
But what if we need more? Branching logic, error handling, more intricate data transformation?
Then you step up to Make, and its free tier.
Okay.
Make its designed for advanced automation and handling these intricate, multi-layered workflows. If your agent needs to, say, retrieve data from 3 different sources, transform that data into a JSON format, send it to an LLM for summarization, and then post the summary to one of 2 different Slack channels based on the content.
Okay, that's way beyond a simple trigger.
That's a job for Make.
Yeah.
It handles complex scenarios, not just simple triggers. It's really the standard for complex public workflows.
And then we reach the self-hosting solution. This is the most demanding, but offers the greatest reward. NA10, which is open source.
Right. And you flying to critical question here. When is self-hosting worth the setup effort?
Because it sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. This is a major trade-off conversation. N8N is the absolute privacy choice. It is self-hosted automation designed specifically for tasks that require high data sovereignty or handle sensitive data.
And the setup effort. You mentioned it's significant. What does that involve?
Often it involves dealing with containers like Docker, setting up a server, managing maintenance and updates. It's not trivial.
So why would anyone endure that complexity when a tool like Make is so visually powerful and easy to use?
Because of the data. It all comes down to the data. If your agent is processing proprietary client legal documents or highly sensitive protected health information or confidential internal company strategy,
You cannot let that data pass through a third-party cloud.
you absolutely cannot allow that data to pass through Zapier or Make's cloud processors. Running NAN means the entire automation logic runs completely within your own secure private environment.
So the complexity is only worth the effort when data security and sovereignty are paramount and, in many cases, legally mandated.
Exactly.
Okay, so the hierarchy is crystal clear. Zapier for simple connections, Make for complex public workflows, and NAN for maximum privacy and control over sensitive internal agents. That clarity is essential for choosing the right backbone for your agent.
Absolutely.
Now that we've given the agent its brain and its nervous system, we need to give it senses. Segment 3 is sensory inputs and outputs, how the agent interacts with the visible and audible world through multimedia generation and processing. This is vital for agents in media, design, marketing, and accessibility.
A truly capable agent needs to be able to generate a thumbnail for a blog post or transcribe a meeting into text. Its intelligence has to translate into tangible media.
Let's start with visual creation tools design and images. For general low-friction graphic design, the go-to is Canva Free.
Of course, Canva is the essential tool for turning raw ideas into aesthetically pleasing formats. And an agent uses Canva not just for simple images, but for templated outputs.
What do you mean by templated outputs?
Things like book covers, standardized posters, social media content, things that need to have a consistent look and feel. The agent isn't necessarily running the Canva interface itself, but its instructions are formatted to use Canva's capabilities, maybe through an API integrated with Flowise or Make.
So the final visual output is professional quality every time.
Exactly.
But for generating high-quality images from just a pure text prompt, the specialized choice is Leonardo AI.
Leonardo has focused intensely on high-quality image generation and artistic fidelity. If the agent's task is to create high-resolution marketing visuals or concept art, or visually stunning outputs where the quality of the render is the most important factor, Leonardo is often the preferred free tool.
But speed is often the greatest need in media creation, isn't it? If rapid iteration is necessary, the source suggests Playground AI.
And this is a critical trade-off consideration. Playground AI is specifically optimized for speed, creativity, and fast iteration.
So you're trading a little bit of quality for a lot more speed.
Potentially. While Leonardo might offer slightly better photorealism, Playground offers faster output generation, often at a lower energy cost per image. So if you're generating dozens of variations for A/B testing on social media, speed and rapid iteration are going to trump absolute fidelity.
An agent would use Playground when high-volume, rapid generation is the priority.
Exactly.
And we see a similar kind of distinction in video generation and editing. For generating short video clips, we have Pika Labs, the free tier.
Pika Labs specialized in concise, dynamic video clips. It's great for animating still images or generating very short, engaging sequences that are perfect for social media stories or quick visual explainers. It focuses on momentum and quick delivery.
But if the agent needs broader video creation and editing tasks, more comprehensive manipulation, the scope widens to runway ML.
Right. Runway ML is the more comprehensive toolkit. It covers a broader range of AI video creation functions, including tools for editing, object removal, or generating longer, more involved sequences.
So if your agent is responsible for creating a 2-minute explainer video that requires complex scene manipulation...
Runway ML offers the necessary breadth of tools to pull that off.
Okay. Before we get into audio, let's quickly talk about self-reflection. An agent needs to understand its own structure, so we move back to system design and flowcharts using Xstaladraw or Draw.io.
This may seem simple, but it's so critical for agent development. Even when you're using no-code tools like Slowwise, visualizing the architecture is necessary.
To see the whole picture.
To see how data flows, where the potential bottlenecks are. These tools are purpose-built for creating diagrams and flowcharts to map out the agent's logic, from the initial user prompt to the database lookup, the LLM call, and the final media generation.
It prevents confusion in these complex, multi-tool agents.
It saves you so much time in debugging.
Finally, let's address speech and audio processing pipelines. This is a crucial element for accessibility, media agents, and voice interface systems. We start with the transcription backbone, Whisper, the open source model.
Whisper is the ubiquitous standard for high-quality speech-to-text transcription. It forms the base layer for converting spoken words, whether from a meeting recording or a user's voice command, into text that the agent can process with its LLM brain.
And its accuracy and multilingual performance are excellent, right?
Top-notch.
But the source flagged a very specific, specialized need, VOSC, for offline STT.
Yes, and this ties directly back to our earlier discussion on N8N and privacy. VOSC is crucial for offline transcription.
So if your agent is dealing with highly confidential audio data,
like medical notes dictated by a doctor or sensitive board meeting recordings, you absolutely cannot send that audio to a cloud transcription service. VOSC allows the agent to process the audio entirely locally on the device.
and like GPT-4o Mini, it has robust multilingual support.
It does. It supports robust transcription in both Urdu and English, which makes it essential for privacy-conscious applications in diverse linguistic environments.
And what about the reverse process, getting audio output from the agent?
For that, we look to Coqui TTS or Piper. These are the essential text-to-speech options. They allow the agent to generate free, synthetic voice outputs, completing that conversational loop.
So if your agent is designed to read news summaries aloud or provide verbal instructions.
Coqui or Piper provide the voice.
And finally, tying all of this multimedia capability together is the silent workhorse, the command line utility that handles all the heavy lifting of media formatting, FFmpeg.
FFmpeg. It's a technical glue. It's the indispensable Swiss Army knife for comprehensive video and audio processing. The LLM can decide what needs to be done, cut this clip from 0.15 to 0.45, but FFmpeg is the tool that actually executes that command on the file.
And its use cases in a media agent must be endless.
Oh, absolutely. Extracting specific frames for analysis, compressing massive video files for deployment, or just ensuring an audio clip is in the correct format and bitrate for the next step of the workflow. It's the invisible infrastructure that makes media agents truly functional.
Okay, here's where we really separate the casual builder from the power user. Segment 4 covers infrastructure, local LLMs, vector memory, and global deployment. We are talking about the underlying architecture needed for high privacy, massive data handling, and professional distribution.
This segment is all about control and scale. If you are serious about building an agent that handles proprietary data or needs high performance, you have to understand these components. We start with that desire for absolute data sovereignty, running large language models locally.
And the primary entry point for this is Ollama.
Ollama is the power user's standard. It lets you run major open-source LLMs like Llama 3, Mistral, and Phi directly on your local hardware, all through a simple command line interface.
And the core benefit is simple.
Privacy and control, your corporate documents, your personal data. It never leaves your machine. It's never exposed to third-party model providers. This is the ultimate solution for agents handling extremely sensitive data.
But setting up a command line tool can be a bit intimidating for some people. What's the desktop workbench solution?
That would be LM Studio. LM Studio is a dedicated desktop application designed for managing these local models, but it's much more than just a runner.
What else does it do?
It has built-in, ready-to-use capabilities for ARG, for chat, for embeddings, and for document analysis. LM Studio essentially turns your personal computer into a comprehensive, self-contained AI development environment.
So it's perfect for visually testing RAG systems and interacting with models without needing any server setup.
Exactly. It lowers the barrier to entry for local development significantly.
And what if the hardware requirements for those massive Llama 3 models are just too steep for your machine?
Then we look at GPT-4All. This is positioned as a lightweight runner for smaller, more efficient local LLMs. It offers an excellent entry point for those with less powerful hardware who still prioritize private local processing.
So there's a clear progression. Llama is the command line standard, LM Studio is the full desktop workbench, and GPT-4All is the lightweight entry point for older hardware.
That's the stack.
Okay, now let's move to the agent's specialized long-term memory system. This is absolutely essential for those RAG systems we keep talking about. Agent memory, specifically vector databases.
As we discussed, RAG needs its textbook.
Yeah.
And that textbook isn't stored in a traditional SQL database. It's stored in a vector database.
And it stores information not as text, but as numerical vectors, mathematical representations of meaning or embeddings.
Exactly.
Let's define embeddings clearly for the learner. If I search a normal database for the keyword cat, it finds documents with the word cat. How is a vector database search different?
So think of an embedding as a highly compressed conceptual fingerprint of your data. The vector database searches these conceptual fingerprints. So if you search for feline companion, the vector database can still instantly find documents about a cat, even if the word feline never appears.
Because their conceptual fingerprints are similar?
Exactly. Their meaning is close in that vector space. This is why vector databases are infinitely faster and more powerful for conceptual or semantic search than traditional keyword search.
Okay, we have 3 categories of vector database tools here, starting with the absolute king of speed, Facile.
Facile is specialized for blindingly fast vector search. It's incredibly efficient. It achieves this speed using a complex technique called approximate nearest neighbor search, rather than an exhaustive search.
What does that mean, approximate?
It means it doesn't check every single document in the database. It intelligently estimates where the most relevant documents are stored, which leads to search times in milliseconds, even across massive data sets.
And the use cases provided really show why this speed is a game changer.
They do. We're talking retrieval in massive legal case archives, deep academic libraries, and voluminous government archives. When a researcher needs to find the one relevant piece of legislation among millions instantly, that speed from face is the difference between a functional agent and a useless one.
But for a beginner, that level of speed might be secondary to just simplicity and getting started.
For sure. And for that, the source recommends Chroma. Chroma is designated as the simplest vector database for beginners. It drastically lowers the barrier to entry for RAG development. It's easy to set up, easy to populate with documents, and allows the learner to immediately start experimenting with embeddings and retrieval concepts without dealing with all the enterprise infrastructure complexity.
It's the perfect RAG starting line.
Exactly.
And then showing the scalability pathway to professional deployment, we have Milvus and Weaviate.
These are the heavy hitters. They're designated for enterprise-scale vector storage. If your agent prototype built with Chroma suddenly needs to handle petabytes of data for a global organization, hundreds of millions of documents, billions of vectors, Milvus and Weaviate provide the necessary reliability, resilience, and horizontal scaling that a production environment demands.
So they show the learner the path from a local prototype to a global deployment.
It's a clear roadmap.
So if we connect all this to the bigger picture, once the reasoning, the logic, the memory system, the custom code are all finalized, where does the agent live for the world to interact with it?
Right.
That's prototyping, hosting, and deployment.
This is the moment you share your agent. We have 4 excellent free options, each tailored to a specific need. Starting with the ML community standard, Hugging Face Spaces.
What's the specialty here? Why Hugging Face?
Hugging Face provides free deployment specifically for applications built with popular ML presentation frameworks like Gradio or Streamlit. So if you used Flowise to build your ARG agent and you want a simple web interface to talk to it, and you built that interface in Gradio,
Hugging Face Spaces is the quickest, most community-accepted way to share it for free.
it's the path of least resistance.
Okay. For more general web apps and speed, especially focused on high user experience, we look at Vercel.
Vercel's specialty is speed and global optimization. It focuses on deploying modern web applications and websites, and it leverages its powerful edge network. If your agent is a public-facing website or app that must load instantly for users worldwide, Vercel's free tier provides that high-speed, low-latency delivery.
Then we have the infrastructure solution that places the logic physically close to the user, Cloudflare workers.
Right. Cloudflare workers offer edge-based serverless deployment. So Vercel hosts the web app itself. Cloudflare hosts the raw logic physically close to the user.
What's the advantage of that?
It minimizes latency for agents that perform small, frequent, and fast computational tasks that are distributed globally. Think of things like authentication checks, real-time data validation, or small API calls. It's all about speed and distribution of the computational backend.
And finally, a simple deployment solution tailored for specific programming environments, Railway.app.
Railway.app offers straightforward deployment specifically for Python and Node applications. If your core agent logic was prototyped in Replit using a specific Python framework, Railway is designed to provide the simplest, most friction-free pathway to move that running code to a stable, hosted environment.
This whole segment just demonstrates that the infrastructure available for free is professional grade. The barrier to entry for high privacy, high speed, enterprise grade architecture has truly collapsed.
It's astonishing, really. You can build a prototype on your local machine using LM Studio and Chroma, and then scale it globally using Milvus and Vercel, all while relying on free tiers and open source software for the entire foundation.
Okay, for our final segment, segment 5, we're going to bring AI utility back down to the individual learner's day-to-day work. This is personal knowledge integration and productivity, how AI helps you manage, organize, and synthesize the massive deluge of information you encounter every single day.
Because an agent doesn't have to be some complex, multi-step automation workflow. Often, the most powerful agent is an integrated partner in your daily workflow, helping you manage your intellectual life.
So let's look at the AI-powered knowledge systems, starting with the big one, Notion AI.
Notion is a powerful hybrid. It functions simultaneously as a structured knowledge base, a place to organize your notes, your databases, your project plans, and as an integrated AI writing and summarization tool.
That's its unique advantage, isn't it? Combining the storage with the active creation.
It is.
Can you give us a specific example of how Notion AI functions as a personal agent for a professional?
Sure. Imagine you just had a long meeting and you copied the raw bullet points into a Notion page. Notion AI, acting as a mini agent, can automatically perform several tasks based on just those bullets.
Like what?
It can generate a clean executive summary. It can extract and format all the action items into a linked database. It can draft a professional follow-up email to the external client. And it can even generate 3 potential blog post titles based on the content.
So it's automating the transformation of raw information into organized, actionable deliverables.
Exactly.
Next, for those who prioritize control and interconnected learning, the source points to Obsidian, which is free.
Obsidian is the tool for building a local knowledge graph. Its core power lies in interconnected note-taking, what they call linking your thinking.
Right.
It's designed to help you visually map how your ideas link together, which fosters deep understanding and knowledge synthesis.
And because everything is stored locally on your machine in simple markdown files?
It offers the data sovereignty equivalent of any N or a llama, but for your personal knowledge base. Total privacy, total control.
So if I'm a student trying to connect concepts from history, economics, and sociology, Obsidian helps me build that complex web of related ideas.
Exactly. It's perfect for personal learning agents where the goal is deep conceptual understanding, not just task completion. And you can use local LLMs running on Llama to query your Obsidian vault, turning it into a hyper-personalized, private RAG system about your own learning.
That's powerful. And what about a specialized tool for just grasping new long-form materials? The source mentioned Google Notebook LM.
Right. Notebook LM is focused specifically on AI-powered document understanding. Its strength is solving the pain point of document overwhelm.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah. You feed it a 500-page report, and it helps you quickly grasp the key themes, ask questions, and generate notes, all grounded only in the documents you provided.
And crucially, every summary or insight, it provides links directly back to the source text,
Which prevents hallucination and ensures you can validate the information instantly.
That grounding and validation step is a fantastic tool for an academic or a legal professional who's dealing with massive document sets they absolutely must trust.
Absolutely. So you have organizational AI with Notion, deep linking and privacy with Obsidian, and document comprehension with Notebook LM. These 3 are essential for the personal intelligence layer of any agent builder.
And finally, the operational layer for task management. Workflow and management using ClickUp AI in its free tier.
ClickUp integrates AI directly into project management and task automation. Its purpose is to inject that LLM power right into the execution layer of your project work.
So an agent running here could automatically generate subtasks.
It could generate subtasks, draft communication for task completion, or summarize the progress across multiple projects directly within the platform you're already using to manage the work.
It ensures that the power of the LLM isn't just used for generating content, but for executing and managing the actual work you're trying to complete.
It closes the loop. It ensures that all the intellectual labor, the deep dive research, and the planning all translate into efficient, organized action within the project environment.
We have covered a remarkable amount of ground today.
We really have.
We started with the foundational brain, the best logical reasoning in GPT-4o Mini, and the verifiable knowledge of perplexity. We moved through the agent's nervous system with complex visual automation tools like Flowise and sophisticated connectors like Make and NN.
We integrated the senses using specialized tools for quality image generation with Leonardo, comprehensive video editing with Runway ML, essential transcription with Whisper, and all the media formatting with FMMPic.
And we solidified the infrastructure, demonstrating that free access to local private processing with Llama and LM Studio, ultra-fast vector memory with Phi-S Chroma, and professional deployment pathways like Vercel and Railway. It's all there.
To recap, the scope of this tool map covers the entire free AI ecosystem, organized by function and by purpose.
And that organization is precisely why the entire resource serves as a complete tool dictionary, supporting every domain we mentioned: legal, business, education, design, media, healthcare, and research.
It's a comprehensive blueprint.
And the most important takeaway, which I think bears repeating because it's so revolutionary, is that this entire powerful architecture capable of achieving end-to-end agent building is achievable without needing professional coding skills.
Not anymore. It's thanks to these robust no-code and low-code solutions we've discussed.
So what does this all mean?
It means the definition of an AI developer has fundamentally changed. You no longer need a computer science degree. You need a clear plan, a structured understanding of this tool map, and the confidence to stitch these free, high-quality components together.
The barrier to entry has effectively dropped to zero.
It has.
The source material showed us tools ranging from local LLMs like a Llama, which provide ultimate privacy and control,
All the way up to enterprise vector storage solutions like Milvus and Weaviate, demonstrating that professional scalability pathway.
The sheer density and variety of high-quality, free infrastructure available today means that the only limitation on agent complexity is your own imagination.
That's really what it boils down to.
So this leaves us with our final provocative thought for you to consider. Knowing that you have immediate access to the best logical reasoning, to verifiable research tools, to sophisticated workflow builders like Flowise, and to private local processing capabilities. What complex multi-step agent could you design and build starting tonight?
And how will you use the clarity of this tool map to accelerate your work in the morning?